It's closed, so it's time to break out the toys and see if I can get my money management bot going. And it's kind of just entering the market just on the crudest of criteria. In fact, I'm on this very crude method based on the nearest less time frame, whatever that is, because that's the only way this robot will run inside of MetaTrader on this particular broker's data. So I can post this robot as a comment. This is a one of the team of robots that if I can get this one to run, and it runs pretty good if you look at the stats. Of course, I'm kind of cheating in the sense I have a fixed spread of 2 pips, and it's trading through the news, which I don't know if this spread is going to hold together through the news. And the spread that's now on other instruments, and stuff gets volatile and then it dies down, gets volatile and it dies down, and this is the kind of the cycle. And I think that's the it's hard to predict when the drama will start again. The spastic up and down moves based on nothing. Nothing has fundamentally changed. Okay, so less people are dying from this pandemic. Such a profound word. It's like when people were saying awesome. I'm like, if you say awesome one more time, I'm gonna show you something awesome. Okay. And people get bored with stuff, and unless your neighbor's spitting up blood, it's kind of like, can we just go back to our lives, please? What do you mean, just frivolous, non-essential shit like going out to eat? And I did think that was kind of. I've never been a big fan unless the waitress is hot. And Applebee's changed my mind at the last minute there. I'm like, wow, Applebee's. I mean, you could fuck up my order. I wouldn't care as long as you come back and just bring me another. Oops, you dropped something again. I keep knocking these napkins off the table. It's crazy. I'm using the Fibonacci here, though, for everybody, so they'll feel at home. It's so funny. So watching the X22 guy, I haven't watched him since I watched him a long time ago. I thought he's out of his mind. And then here's the new thing on the street is if you're in this conspiratorial stuff, Q's putting out secret codes, and these guys are reading into it. I'm like, you sound like a guy using a Fibonacci tool. Yeah, you see the 618 down here? No, you don't even know what you're doing. Step away from it. So the only thing I see here useful is this. Tony Plummer in his book, Forecasting Financial Markets. And Alexander Elder did a interview with him. I have it on tape. And he said, well, what you really want to go from the fib is this 4236, because that there is quite an extension. So if you are using fib out there, you want to buy the break out of the 100 and ride it to the 2618, right? They even had a 2618 club there at Empowered Trading just before. I don't know if this guy went off to has a radio show. I know because I heard ads running, and then they took Rush Limbaugh off the radio. It's so funny to watch the whole thing unravel. So the breakout here of the 618, right? The 618 to the, see how that transports? I don't think people even know that I really do know how to run Fibonacci. I just don't do it because, you think I want the Illuminati to bust down my door and take me out and rape my dog. I'm not stupid, okay? Don't you know? And then the no-nonsense guy, oh my God, he did do a video. I looked and I watched it. It was an hour and a half of, like, victimhood. They tricked you again. It was a fake bull market. It was a fake bull market. So he's looking at his view of the markets by, and of course this is 2009 we're looking at here on the 4-hour chart. So just let me show you the harebrained thinking of his video. I want to do a video about his video, but I could barely tolerate his. It's just so stupid. He never talks about any fucking dollar amounts. He doesn't say, well, here you risked 500, we made $3,000. Okay, that's a number I can get my brain around. Saying stuff like we made money, we lost money. Okay, you made $3 on that trade. Great. You could have fucking, I don't know, you could have sold one of your tchotchkes on the wall. before the earthquake's going to take it out and the locusts are going to come and the end of the world's coming and we're living such a high lifestyle that, I'm like, I've got my teeth whitened and did you see I waxed my... I love how I'm driving around and unless you're going to wash your car yourself, there's all these dirty cars. The people that, Dad, wash my own car. It's your car, fucker. It's not your ass with ass cancer. Oh, I just so funny to see people just come unwrapped. And these numbers are bullshit. Go look at the guy. I'm going to post a link to this guy out of Germany. You got to be able to read the subtitles quickly because they just throw the subtitles in as an afterthought. So they got a whole paragraph, 1 millisecond on the screen. Okay, yeah, I'm reading that. But he's saying, look at the numbers. So some cop in New York dies. Okay, guy's diabetic with he's so fragile, you just touch him. Benny Hinn could have killed him, but just by fucking trying to heal him. That's what we're fucking using as a gauge now? Parading out you're going to throw mama over the wheelchair and think you... Oh my God, you fucking opened up the valve on the goddamn government. Here's some money, shut the fuck up. Yeah, you better fucking send people money after you tell them to sit the fuck home. They're not used to sitting home. I mean, any trader that's staring at these markets all day long is just going, dude, I don't even notice. Don't even notice. This could have been the beginning, the end here. Oh, it was a good buy there, I just want to say. Right here, I'd be buying. It's down at the market, which means it's been down 8 fucking hours I just bought. Okay? I'm missing my separators of days here. Hopefully I can turn that on while we're in playback mode without crashing this. It says show period separators. Maybe the wrong background color or something. I'm not seeing it. Okay, this color's bad here. I hope I can edit this on the fly. It's going to make a peach puff. Here we go. So here's the beginning. It's just Sunday night, the beginning of the week. And, don't forget there's Fibonacci time. Did I mention that in our other course? Oh, we got this other course. We're just going to do it next week. I'm going to need some more opiates, I think, to do that one. Also, the zoom out, max zoom out. Okay, this is all we know. So let's not get carried away with the Fibonacci tool yet. Let's not get all greedy and look at that and think, there's this Gartley pattern. Have you seen the Gartley patterns? Oh, I'm sorry. What about Ranko? The reason why you can't maximize some of these moves because of just pure Ranko. It's about positioning yourself ahead of the fucking drama and having a way to take those first 50 pips off the table and make $500, on a standard lot, right? You got $300K in there. 50K is donated to paying for the fuck ups on the other trades. Not everything sells on the shelf that you think's cool. This girl I knew that had the coffee shop, it looked so dialed up in there. You could have filmed a movie in there, but nobody gave a fuck. They just wanted their coffee. Some people can't appreciate what you appreciate. And just because you have a fib tool out and you think that, the big wigs got the fib tool out, so you should get the fib tool out. All right, great. It's a mental masturbation. Go for it. I don't blame you. But when it comes down to it, if you put on it, and then once again, we hear the no-nonsense guy go from hedge funds are getting their ass kicked in this bull market. It was a fake bull market now. And he's just like CNN News. He's kind of like the person that's going to... Now he's saying, we're in a bear market, how to trade it from the bear side. Here's what you should buy. Here's this and that. And woohoo, finally there's some drama. And then he's astounded that people are making money from no drama. He's like, I don't understand how people have been making money with my methods. And of course, then he's bragging that he loves that the Discord has dick fucks that are going to kick you out if you say something off topic that's not no nonsense. It's real cultish, weird shit. And the praise, I can't even believe, but these are people that are, these are people that probably could not change the spark plugs on their own car. Okay, so I get it, right? But maybe I'm too far into mechanics and how to solve a problem that I'm presented with. I didn't go to school, so I don't have the bullshit checklist. Well, first, what we got to do? No, first, what you got to do is put out the fire because your ass is on fire. So, if that means closing out all your trades and saying, "What the fuck am I? What am I doing? This market's too fast for me." Like so. Look at this. Now, look at this beautiful explosion here. Now, I did not rehearse this. I would have bought there anyways because you know why? Now, much to the chagrin of people that are just so fucking all or nothing. There's no nonsense. It's all or nothing. Either we're going to do it this way or my way or the highway. You're going to get all no nonsense for them. You don't. Okay, buying this range, you got to think in ranges, man. Every time you bought in this trap below this auction floor and you kept buying in that range and dumping in 4 hours and you just made 100 pips. Are you making money? Fuck yes. Do you have to know this bullshit? Okay, forget kids. Turn off the. They have this thing now on YouTube before you post. Kids, turn off the volume. Grandpa's gonna get angry. Grandpa's gonna start throwing chairs. So that trade's over. Another thing, you've already got your targets set. You're out of that trade. You're 70% out. Yes, it may keep going. Yes, you may have as no nonsense to say, you have a real runner. You got a real runner there, boy. Yeah, you're like fishing, just throwing bait out. Well, you never know. We scan new indicators, new lures, new fish lures. Dude, you got to be where the fish are first. Oh, no. And then he's like, this trade you shouldn't do. There's exceptions to my rules. If you're missing out, yeah, I should have gotten that trade. He's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. You're such a lazy fuck. You got all the... Don't be lazy, man. Look at this beautiful fucking 4-hour trade. Yes, I could have let some of that run. Yes, I'm going to sell above there. Who's fucking not selling above that? Is there going to be a reaction pullback off of that? I guarantee you. I've never seen this data, swear to God, Jesus. This is 2009 somewhere in fucking time. It's January 18th. The markets never change. The only thing that changes is the volatility. That is design. That is a definition of price over time in a framed time, in a time frame. Not all the dead bodies stacked up. Look at all the dead bodies. Yeah, I know, fuck. Look at Hiroshima too. Look at all that shit. Are you fucking kidding me? You honestly have your shit dialed in so fine. Dude, the world is organic and chaotic. That's Bill Williams. Once again, when it comes to chaos theory, how to make money from chaos, the turtle traders win because they just go with the order flow. But when volatility comes in engulfing patterns of volatility, in other words, psycho spikes, washes anybody out with a tight stop, or even a medium stop and a wide stop, those people are fucking bye-bye. Now, the people that are naked, flat, waiting to get filled on a limit, that's a different person than the guys riding the train into your limit. They're both making money. I don't get this. Well, they're tricking us again. They just kept on lowering the interest rates, and this is a fake rally. They're all fake rallies. They're not fake. They're filling a void, a need. Why is it overbid? The burning match. Now, I used to get stocks and commodities, and this is like a $5 rag I bought at the fucking Borders. I'm not saying I know everything, but I know a lot. I've read a lot of shit. At 62 years old, starting in fucking tracking this shit in the paper when I was 10, watching a stock go from $5 to $1 to $5, I said to myself, holy shit, I think that's a range. Now, you could have said to people, you should have shorted it at 5. And of course, I'm watching this for 5 years move. Every paper that came out, I looked in this newspaper, and it would trade in 1/4 cent. I thought, wait a minute, it's 1/8 of a dollar? I was like, how in the fuck is this even possible? It's before decimal pricing. So we're out of this trade here because it just went it for 4 hours. Boom, we're out. Bye-bye. Next trade. Okay, I'm going to put limits in now. I'm going to stream them. I'm going to catch a falling knife, which you're not supposed to be able to do that either. I'm putting buy limits down here, right? It's the density of the orders. Just like the density of these fucknuts on the subway getting sick with each other. Stop humping each other, people. No wonder we're all in fucking lockdown. These fuckers can't behave. Oh, we met each other at the bar. We're going to hook up. Dude, you're fucking... The one's coughing up blood. The other one's banging him. You know, they give you this picture, but let's face it. Look at the guy in Germany who's giving you the fucking real dialogue. What do we call it? Narrative. Monologue in my case. So how's Fib helping you on this trade? Who's got the time to break this fucking Fib shit out? Just take the goddamn trade. Stop it. Stop over analyzing. Stop projecting. Stop telling me how many people are going to... I'm ready to go out and stand in front of a giant... Can they make like one of those Disney, the Disney floats? Will there be a coronavirus fucking... I've seen this coronavirus fucking Nerf ball, fucking tortured Nerf ball, like acid sprayed Nerf ball. I've been looking at this thing for fucking how long? Stop it. Stop this shit. God damn it, people. What the fuck happened to you? We're huddled in the corner. God, have you ever fucking even been punched out in a... Well, probably not. You got to take a Zumba class and fall over. Life's dangerous. God damn it. So here's the pullback. We're buying lightly here with a tight stop. This is the pullback. When it's down a little bit, we buy lightly. Okay, so let's get into the chart here. I think I'm done just being completely pissed off. It's such fucking stupidity. I can't believe it. Okay, maybe we're still holding some. Maybe we added a little bit. This is all going to be so organic. Can you even do this trade? Are you sleeping? Are you going to backtest this in a 4-hour chart and honestly tell me that you were fucking awake for that trade? Okay, you're going to have to babysit this goddamn currency. This is the British pound, by the way. And this thing can fucking move. Okay, so you're going to have to run a 50 pip stop on this. You can't be coming in with this, I got a 10 pip stop on the pound. Real? Okay, dude, here, just give me your money. Or if you do have that, you have a 15 pip take profit. But how often are you going to get that to line up for you? This is Sunday night. We retested Sunday's low. You could have bought the retest of Sunday's low. Have we ever seen this pattern before? Stop it with the coronavirus. Does this bottom become a top? This is somewhere in time. How many times does this happen? Is this a structure? Is this a part become resistance? Why can't no nonsense see that? Because it doesn't work every time. Okay, dude, he obviously doesn't play guitar, because if you play guitar, I know there's one guy out there who plays guitar. He understands these are scales. Dude, this is a run. Okay, this is a minor move. This is a major move, right? These minor keys are half steps, typically, right? Can you play a half step? Can you play a walking pattern? These are walking patterns. This is the drum beat. This is the kick drum. This is the beat of the market. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Boom, down, boom, buy. Buy the boom. Sell the boom. Right? You buy because it pulled back. Well, you just can't have a trade plan like that. Fucking hey, that's your only filter? It's down? Well, yeah. What are you, fucking idiot? Yeah. That's the only good thing he said. I'd say 10% of what No Nonsense said, I agree with. 15 on the outside there, he says, dude, just put the trade up. Like, don't be a pussy. Right. But he's pussified himself with all of these rules. Can't have that. Can't have that. Looking for this. Got to have that. Oof, got a new indicator. This is also an indicator somebody wrote for me that just shows you the trailing vacuum, right? So at this point, we expected that blue line to clean out. And it's not repainting, but sorry. So I can do that myself, right? I have the wherewithal to see this void itching to get filled. This is the looming void. And yes, there are looming voids, and trust me, if the market can make it below here, it's going to be a bloodbath into your fib. And then you'll tell me, see, fib works because look what I bought here. Okay, but did you buy all grandma's inheritance here? Where did you get it? How did you get into this trade? Is this top become a bottom for you? You could put a buy limit there. It's completely rational. Put a buy limit from here all the way to fucking Zumba land down at the bottom. Okay? All the way to here, it's acceptable to put buy limits. Why so afraid? Well, if I do that, then I have to put peanut orders in. Oh, I don't want to just risk peanuts because I'm so fucking smart. I know how to do a Gartley pattern. Like, I only need like 3 pieces of data. I can name that pattern in 1 bar. Name that pattern. Why work so hard? You could have sold here because it was up and you're winning. Yes, that's a winning trade. Does it work all the time? No, because if you sold here and it keeps going up, nothing works all the time. They just filled my buy limit. I scalped 20 pips off that, though. Here's the secret. So I'm going to reveal the holy grail of trading. You got to take something off the table along the way. You cannot ride this whole motherfucker. God damn it, people. And the way No Nonsense portrays it is like, this opportunity of your lifetime setting up here. What is he talking about? The market's going to keep going down and down and down and down. Look at it. It just fucking bounced like 20%. That is a scalp. Now that's the trade you just missed it, dumb shit. Because you're so focused on your fucking algo. And then he's saying that people are like, well, people are probably like really disappointed in their algo. The only good thing he says is like, keep trucking. Keep on trucking, brother. But you got to love it because the goobers and the 27,000, welcome back, buddy. Yeah, without a trade plan in sight. Not one fucking take-home piece of advice. Hey, it's down by a little. Fear of missing out's bullshit. Fear of missing out. This binary world of like, it's going up, it's going down. Pick a direction. Got a bias. Like, this is the fucking dumbest shit, the most fragile shit in the world. To stand in front of a truck. Well, but trucks have never gone. That's another thing that the trucks have never gone this fast before. Therefore, they can't go any faster than X. And if you take that to the market, you're going to get crushed because markets are going to. The future's unwritten, so markets are going to do stuff that blows people's minds. Go look at soybeans. Go look at limit up orange juice. Does anybody know what real risk is? So, in the beginning, I understand this risk has never died out in people's minds, but if you were to trade commodities, you could lose more than it's in your trading account. If you got $5,000 in there, you could end up $20,000 underwater, and people are suing you. The clearinghouse is sending you lawsuit shit, and they're gonna fucking whatever collateral that you claimed you had, it's gonna be gone. And that's real risk. Now, when they talk about margin calls in a Forex account, so they closed out your trade. You just lost $200. It's almost like an option trade. It's option trading. I mean, especially if you got stops in there, it's almost zero risk. Yeah, if you hold over the weekend, it could gap against you and you could lose more than, and a lot of brokers will zero your account because they're so-called bucket shops, which all that means is they're retail. All that means is that they're accessible to people that don't have $1 million to trade a gold account with a zero spread. So what? You fucking think that Jimi Hendrix, if he was alive, couldn't walk into a guitar store and play a fucking $80 guitar? That's another thing. These platforms that people run. It's like, look at this platform I have. Oh, well, so you bought a fucking signature Les Paul, Jimmy Page. You're not Jimmy Page, dude. It doesn't matter. You don't know what the fuck to do with it. I love how people have so much fucking money. They're going to buy this signature edition of the Eric Clapton guitar, which is only $1,100. Isn't it a nice guitar? It's got the roller, the LS, the nut rollers, so you can do a whammy and it's not going to stick. Okay, that's it. It's also a metal nut, which has a nice brassy, bright sound. But what are you going to do now? Get Eric Clapton's guitar amp and go on tour? You can't do that. You also can't do that in trading. This no-nonsense guy filter, well, this is my rule list. Okay, I'm glad you got a rule list. Don't bang her from behind. Okay, that's on your, your checklist before you leave the house. But what in the fuck is going on out there? This is a litmus test for people. A litmus test is, You take a piece of paper and you determine the pH value of something. It turns red, turns blue. This is the test. You can see how people really see the world when this shit happens. And this, you do know, I don't know, maybe going to Discord is good. You look at the guy that shorted oil. I just logged in there for a second to see some guy on Thursday. I went short oil. I'm like, look at the oil chart. Would you go short oil here? Are you out of your mind? This is a flash crash. You think this is the beginning of a bear market? Even if it is, dude, where are you getting in? On the 618 retracement for another leg down? With all your fucking money on that, with a 2% risk, all on one ticket, no flexibility, painted yourself into a corner like a goofball? Well, I'm just going to buy one big house. Why don't you buy 3 small homes? Well, because, yeah, if you had 3 small homes, you could have run your little baby home outside of town and never been involved in this Coronaville. You didn't think like that, did you? So who's the real fucking survivors? People that trade, like, you know, if you've ever lost a lot of money or made a lot of money in a very short period of time, that is kind of crazy stuff. And that's what this is. This is a bad trade that you woke up and got filled on this Corona because you're basically going, dude, should we double up on this? I mean, like, this reminds me of that fill I got that was a bad one because the robot had just... the script actually was looping and stacking up tickets, and I just looked at the chart, and it looked like one ticket to me. I got filled on like some ungodly amount of singles. I think it was like 100K or 400K or something. It was 100K, but I was fluctuating $400 in the middle of the night, and I couldn't figure out why. The fluctuation of the equity is what bothers me. So what I want to do is, in a perfect world, I want to be flat into a plunge and catch the falling knife in that one motif. That is a method that you would use. You can't use that in a market. Okay, so if you're looking back into the nooks and crannies that are itching to be filled by these markets, if you donate your whole life savings to buying a plunge like that, you have to know what it's going to cost you if that void fills in totalness. But if you've made enough money along the way and you have a linear risk, a static risk at all times, you know that, okay, I just lost like $2,000. So it's not that you lost 20% of your account, because when you start doing this percentage of your account stuff, that's when you get in trouble. If you're trading as a money machine or money formula for, if I give it, I can make 200% a month. You can't take that and throw 3 million in and go, well, then therefore I'm going to make $1 billion. No, you got to keep it running at the. Okay, so you got to buy another car. You can't drop a Hemi in your fucking little frame car. You just got to buy another car. Well, then I got another. Yes, you do. But that's what's robust, is the stability. Not running from this market to that. Oh, got a bear market here. Oh, break out my. You should see the scanner I built. What? You're driving down a road and shit's chaotically coming in front of you. Chaotically. And the cutest thing the No Nonsense said in the beginning of his video was, I'm sure a lot of your charts are all fucked up by this movement in the market. So you're wow. Yeah. Because your system is so fragile. It's looking for the narrowest of criteria, and the market's got to calm down. And don't forget this one. He didn't say it, but we all knew what he meant in this last video that he did for an hour and a half is, got to wait for your indicators to catch up. It's been a little dramatic out there, guys. So what I want you to do is step away from the platform. Wait for your indicators to catch up. I'm sure there's people getting clobbered. I'm sure there's people making money. And volatility means that people with fixed pips stops are like, I can't afford these markets. Of course you can't, unless you go to a nano account. People laugh at me for the nano account. Well, that's peanuts. Really? There's a time and place for everything. You can go into nano mode Just like people are going into lockdown. Dude, I don't know. I think I've been locked down my whole fucking life. There's always a limitation to what you can do. You just can't go yell dick in a crowded theater. You can't just... Of gay guys. You can't just... Like, what the fuck? There's always been limitations. Some people, I can't... My Netflix is acting up. Oh, God. Go have a Corona burger. And this is the biggest... West Nile. Where's West Nile? Where's all the other ones? Ebola. Oh, mad cow. Can't we just... We're all wishing we could have Oprah Winfrey talk about mad cow and shut down the meat industry. Could have shorted cattle. Hillary did. I don't know. Is that where Hillary shorted when Hillary opened her... Hillary... Start building composite. Take Hillary and sandwich her to fucking... can't we do a gene splice? Hillary, whatever. So we bought that pullback there. We bought on limits there. We're up. We're out. Are we out of that trade? I don't know. Sure, why not? Okay, so I don't know how much I'm going to last. I'm so pissed off. Let me speed up the robot a little bit. So we bought there. We wrote it to there. Now don't forget, this is somewhere in time. And if this is your lifestyle, but you trade the 4-hour chart for 50 pips and 20 pips and 100 pips if you're lucky. Don't forget luck. Also, luck comes to people who participate. Luck comes to people that show up and buy the ticket. And let me speed this up. I'm at speed of 1, which is almost, it's faster than real time, I think, because it's like using, it's compressing the data in Renko. Wait, I'm supposing this crude method is a compression of data. Let me see if the robot's even making any money, for God's sake. I mean, what's the point, right? But I was just calling out the trades, and the robot's running in the background. Man, I'm so pissed off. Okay, so things making money. I'm going to speed it up, and we're going to have to call the trades out. Okay, so here's the question. I'm going to speed it up in bursts. Could we make it down into this hole down here? Okay, I'll put some fibs in there so people can pay attention to it. So can we get in down here and trade a bounce to there? Will it go there or will it go up first? Let's see. Let's speed it up a little bit. If I go to max speed, it'll just blow by us. We won't even know what happens. So I got to be careful. Okay. But that's my order bank is down in those yellows. Okay, that's a pretty good speed. 10 times faster. Up didn't happen. So this thing went short for some reason up here. I don't even know the logic for this robot to trade, but the reason why this robot makes money is because it has a trailing stop built into it. Okay. Wow. Once again, the people that sell resistance up here, this little trap, they made money. It looks like the robot made a little money on that. I do think we're going to plunge into this at some point. Since we don't know when, we can set the orders in here all week. So on Sunday night, we can put order banks in here. Me, myself, and I don't want anybody to lose money on my catch a falling knife theory. But in here, I'm going to buy in this pocket. And I bought at the market here because we're retesting this support, which looks like it's getting fragile. But like this thing could oscillate. See, the thing that's perplexing to people is that the range traders, since 80% of the market is just not going anywhere, range traders really are cleaning up. And the non-directional traders, with this robot's doing non-directional trading. Okay, so we just picking up my limits now. You could have got in here at this slight rally. You could have sold that slight rally. Yes, you could. This is the British pound. That's 100 pips down. So here you got to run out 200 pip stops and stuff. 100 pip stops on all these yellow tickets. Okay, we'll zoom out. More fills, more thrills. And I think we're going to take this out too. So we're going to have some dry powder here. Now here's where I get kind of excited about it. And I think... and kind of relaxed in the knowledge that the lower it goes, I don't have to buy at the market because I've already decided I'm going to buy here. So this is a little bit more relaxing to me, is the confidence than knowing that if it goes down, I want to buy. So I just bought there. I'm buying all the way down. 100 pip stops, 200 pip stops, 300 pip stops. I forgot to mention that. So that is risky dollar-wise. So people see risk in dollars. Let me delete these objects. They're getting a little hairy. Okay, so we're in 200 pips down. And we want to scalp. The first scalp is going to be already off the table here. These bottom tickets. So in a random method, we could have placed it. We also could see this low, right? We know this low exists. We know there's a lot of interest here, and we're out of that trade. So if we scalp to this floor, we're out. We could ride the rest to here. We know there's sellers galore at this low, and that low does matter. No nonsense drew a line like that, and he said, don't, that's not support. He's like, this guy is so strict, you could just die. Indicators. And then he says, he tried to put fundamentals together on the chart and talk about fundamentals. The chart's a bullshit chart because it's a fake bull rally, and the country was doing better 3 years ago than it is now. So why is this price so high? It's fake, right? That's a fundamental argument. But then he says, let's not pay attention to fundamentals. I don't know if he's trying to discount fundamentals. He also misses the point that the market actually ranged that whole broad spectrum and retested his indication of the beginning of the so-called fundamentally good news. Once we deregulated things, yes, it's called freedom. Yes, it's called expansion. It's called growth. And when you overbid something because of the... Does anybody remember this company, Amazon, or Google? They were saying, why are they bidding it up so much? It's not worth that much. You know what? That shit just kept going. You just didn't have a trade plan for it, that's all. So here we're retesting. Sellers came in at this floor. You notice that? Did you see that? Who could see that coming? Who knew that was coming, right? Did you have your limits here against the ceiling? Didn't even make it there. That's why you can't rely on just that. So here's the rehearsal checklist. We're relying on things like this. We know above this, we know from here to here is a 100 pip window. Can we afford to sell that window and risk 100 pip stops on every ticket to make 100 pips? Break even. Even goobers love a break even trade. Can we do that trade? Yeah. Would we put in one ticket with one stop? You could, but I think you're going to realize that if you can afford to sell more when it's up more and less when it's down less, if you can fit, and this isn't asking too much, but it is for people that think about scanning for 2% risk. Scanning to pull the trigger on 2% risk. They're never going to see the fact that what they need to do is, and here, once again, new lows into limits, right? Limits getting filled right now. Mine are. I always put my limits in the void. And yes, they can crush them out. You could lose. But you're losing the moment you pull the trigger. You're down the spread. Don't forget. Look at my non-directional robot made money on that. And this one is, so I'm going to post this in the comments. This is the robot that's called the 12-22-55. So what this is initial stop is 22. The trailing stop is at 12. And the target's 55. And the ATRs are 1, 1, 2, 2. I think this is the delta or something. Now, I'm gonna go fast forward. And this is the ATR breakout bot. And these numbers here are calling out the settings. And it's trading at 10K. It's on 48 trades. I'm going to fast forward. From 2009, October, I'm going to skip to the end and watch the, here, let's just take a visual look because it's going, if I max speed here. Let's just see how crazy the pound can get. Also, it's a good idea to watch, unbeknownst to you, like just take samples and watch the market trade and say, wow, look at this. A whole week of nothing, sideways, and then a move. Sideways, then a move. Now directional robot's making money. I'm in crude playback mode. But why is it making money? Because it's got money management on that puppy. It's got a trailing stop. So here's what I'm going to attempt to do is run this robot. I've got about 40 of these robots. Some are scalpers, some are big long traders. And unleash it on the 4-hour chart. I don't know if it's going to have anything like this, but this thing makes money in this playback, right? Look at this thing. Granted, that's a fixed pip spread of 2. And that is British pound. Looking to make 55 pips. If I make the target bigger, it'll make more money. So I don't know if this is accurate, but what it is, if I do change the settings, you will see it different in the equity and the money it makes. So before the end of the world, I'm giving away this free robot that was free when I got it. Look at this thing. It's trading its ass off. Not directional trading. There isn't any. It's just pure breakout trading. So I don't know how it's going to perform on other brokers' data. And like I said, this is the results must not be considered. So see, controls a very crude method based on nearest less time frame. I don't know what the fuck that means. And here's what it looks like. The robot is how the settings going on this one. 12. So here's what it looks like setting wise. Wait for editor to come up. Boy, the editor really struggles to come up. You would think with modern computers that editor would come up, but man, that's some archaic code or something. It's going for the fat tables in the fat 16 table. Fat 1. No fat. Rebuilding the corrupt index file on TradeStation was always a hoot. The $2,000 program. Parallel port key toggle. So, this is the trailing stop. The stop loss initially. And it makes money because it's got that trailing stop. ATR period is 5, so that's not right. That should be 1. So, the name's wrong. Oh well, I'm not posting the name. I'm just posting the robot. I think that's right. Wait a second. Maybe I'm not even running that robot. Yeah, that is. It's 111. It's this one. Super tight. Okay. That is right. So it's very tight. The ATR, there's zero lag there. I have 0 shift. I don't know what. You can play with the shift if you want. I don't know. I don't know much about this shit. I just know that conceptually it makes sense that non-directional trading with money management makes money. To unleash this in the real world, of course, you're going to take a drawdown. You can't see it on that chart there, that equity curve, because the little micro pullbacks may be enough to, like anybody else, deter them from trading. They're like, oh my God, a couple losing trades, shit, we quit. So you don't want to be that. I also don't know about this. It's changing these. Don't even know. Haven't played with that. it's tough. There's a lot going on in here. I don't know. I know it has no direction because I don't see a moving average here or any MACD code. But be that as it may, without regard to that, and hitherto unknown, but you can just go through it yourself, I suppose. Anyways, that's before the end of the world. I just want to get that out. I'm just going to copy this code into the comments, and then this is the original name of it. And what you do is, you just have to paste this code in to your MT4. Just take a regular robot, delete the code out of that, paste this in, and then you're on your way to total financial destruction. I have to give that disclaimer. You could lose part of or everything you've ever owned. So I don't know. This thing's putting on trades like willy-nilly. There's quite a lot of trading actually. It's trading like every other. I did want to look at the code here because here's the other thing. The start time here is like 1 in. It's not trading for 2 hours. So around 4 p.m. to about 6 p.m. it does not trade, apparently. If you're starting that this is 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you might want to check that too. I don't know. You could make this go 0 to 24, and I probably should just to be on the safe side. But then you got to compile that, rename that. So if you're going to put the settings in the name, all these settings, you could do that too to keep track of them. But the idea is that you have a team of these bots. You cannot just have one of these because not all the markets are going to perform like that. You're not always going to get that amazing move. So here, if I put the scalping bot in, which this is like really tight, let's see, or tighter. Here's a bigger target with a tighter stop and a bigger criteria on the execution of that, a little more lag on that. So if you memorize this number here, you kind of have to take a snapshot of this. 33,000 at 4,700 trades. Of course, it's beyond that, but I'm just using that last ruler mark. So 33,000. I'm just looking at the amount of money. The amount of trades it does is interesting too. Crude method, very quick. Skip to the end. So it was 4,700 trades, $33,000. This is a very greedy target of 80 pips, a tighter stop. And the criteria, it's probably not going to trade as much because I have that 10 in there, which is kind of like lagging it out, keeping the trade frequency down. So you have to strike a balance between overtrading, undertrading. That's a big deal, I think. I mean, a smoother equity curve is always safer. So almost the same amount of trades here. 4,700. So it's actually trading more. Didn't make as much money, but it traded more because of the but the equity curve looks steeper in a way. So here's a so I'm pretty sure these are all 10Ks in here, unless they say otherwise. So here's a tighter version, the same thing, but I'm going to use the ATR that's ATR 1. So you're 28 grand, 5,000 trades. And that is 20, about 10 years of data at least here. So this is getting a nice run because we have a real greedy target of 80 pips, a trailing 20, and a super tight ATR. That's why I think tighter ATRs. ATR 14 is just doesn't make sense. I mean, you're late to the party. By the time your ATR reacts, it's kind of like, just kind of missed the entry there.
Well, we're waiting for extra confirmation. We was waiting for our indicators to catch up.
Yeah, I know your indicators caught up, and then we went all along, and we just blew up the account. Yeah, that worked out good. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Well, we've had some wins, though.
So same numbers really here, because we have that same target. Will not run on the 1 hour chart, so don't even bother, because it's going to overtrade. So I spent about 5 years with this robot, dicking around with it. I'm not, say, I don't think I've run this thing in a demo account into the real world yet. So, but they don't have to. So, I think I can see what's going on, and I have scripts I'm running. But it's fascinating to play with this because given running all these robots just on one currency pair is the way to do it, I think, to test the layered robot theory. Here it makes sense because if I pick out this kind of not so greedy target bot with a conservative trailing 15 stop, I go here, I'm seeing $32,000 at 4,700 trades. Let's run this one. So I don't know if my old friend Ryan Brown, we're not friends, but I never talked to him, but if he's even thought about a crude bot like this, because he's got like an indicator connected to his bot. So this bot's doing well. For what reason? Not greedy of a target, and not too tight of a stop. I'm giving the market more room to make money on these trades. You can see the trailing stop trailing here. If I slowed it down, you could see it actually scooching up and protecting the harebrained entry ideas. It's just randomly getting in the market in essence at this point. But yeah, so I like that jump right there. Now that's good. So you see that jump there? We just padded the account. We just padded it. So maybe I'll post this robot. I'll post the best performing robot. But see, we all know what the best performing robot is. A big fat wide stop looking to make a ton of money. So what if I do that? Here's a 30 to make 100. So this is my most greedy bot. I'm going to run that next after this one's done. I'm going to skip to the end and see if we can get about 5,000 trades here. Trying to get past the 3,000, 3,300, 33,000 mark here. Trading 10Ks. And it's not, it doesn't get two trades going. It also, there's something in the code that kind of says don't trade more than this. Get back in if you get stopped out. And so it has a constant risk to it also. Don't know what, the origin of this robot. I kind of looked it up and, like I said, found this years ago on the internet. Maybe 4 years ago. I don't know. I guess you kind of lose track of time as the goobers run it off a cliff. Same metrics here, same 33,000. So I'm going to put in the greedy bot. Greed is good. Pretty tight ATR of 2 here, I think. Delta, double check everything. What it said, future results are no example of future fuck-ups. Of course, and also we're cheating with the 20 pip, 2 pip spread on a news events. Skip to the end. That's all we care about. Going for the big kahuna 100 pip winners here with a big healthy fat 30 pip stop. I'm sorry, a 30 pip initial stop, 50 pip trailing stop, looking to make 100 to let your profits run theory. Ooh, look at that nice equity spike there. So that could have been a news event or something. We didn't retain that. We were up. That probably could have a reversal there. This is definitely a long. You got to have some accounts. Got to be. Look at these pullbacks here. So if you open the account here, you can see how you get hurt. If you had just started that robot right there, right, and it didn't really make too much more. It did less trading though, to make the same amount of money, almost the same amount of money, because it wasn't getting stopped out. Now let's put in the ridiculous scalper. Here's a nice one. This is cute. So I think I have a Atr bot file with all these bots in it in my hightail thing. I've written quite a many versions of it, but see, this is the scalper bot, and you're going to need this bot too, because you got to make that dirty money. I gotta skip to the end of that. I keep forgetting it tracks so fast that I'm just gonna skip to the end. This is a really tight stop, and this is even a little more fictitious because we have a fixed pip spread through the news, and I don't know if it's even doable to run such a tight stop in the news. But it is, if you added slippage to this, you're still making money, I think. Quite a bit of trades here, because this is a 8 pip trailing stop after initial 16. Only looking to make 32 pips though on a 10K. I'm pretty sure it's a 10K, right? Let's see the size in there. Didn't make as much money, but we knew that because we were only going for a few pips. But just about 5,000 trades, it made money. And putting this on a different instrument. So if we put this on the euro, it might be a better fit because of the tighter spread and the more liquidity, less gaps, less psycho moves. Let's take a quick look at that. Okay, so this is a very tight stop. More data, more liquidity. It's not such a choppy psycho market. This is the two of the biggest currencies on the planet. It's very, very solid. Well, why a lot of robots are written around the euro dollar, because it's easy to make a robot that doesn't blow up. It's not freaked out by the it's not such a illiquid. It's like smooth data, especially for a breakout system. Hedge funds and all this stuff. Well, I don't know. So, okay, so kind of just smooth, not as dramatic because it's not as volatile as the pound. So, but if you open your account here, anywhere along here, you could say, I'm getting killed, I'm out. Anyways, that's the Atr bot. I guess I'll put the so here's a conservative bot. Let's take a look at this one running in the euro dollar. Kind of your middle of the road bot is a 15 stop, a trailing 15, initial 25 with a 60 target. That's good, right? It's making money most of the time. I mean, it's a nice ratio. Initial 25. Looking to make the 60 if possible. Right, that's a good all-around. It's a good hearty money management system. Just blind entry. The criteria for entry is kind of inconsequential here. I think I could just enter on a flip of a coin, honestly. It's the fact when the market starts to move in its favor, it's moving a trailing stop. That is it. That is the foundation of all trading, is size exposure, exposure over time and exposure to size. Yeah, ants, you throw an ant off a building, he doesn't die. You drop a ladybug off the Empire State Building, can it die? I don't know. Maybe it gets pulled up and maybe it goes to the moon. Too much updraft. Anyways, I'll just post any one of these robots. You can figure it out, I suppose, if you're into this stuff. This is robot fantasy building, I guess you could call it.